Action potential is a electrophysiological process of communication between the neurons and neurons to the muscles, since the muscles and neurons are excitable tissues. And now let us see how the action potential looks like. In the resting situation, any excitable tissue having the resting membrane potential RMP. For example, if you take the neuron, its resting membrane potential lying around minus 70 millivolts. So this is the resting membrane potential of a normal typical neuron. Then what is the resting membrane potential? The potential across the cell membrane, the potential difference across the cell membrane when compared to ECF, the potential shows here minus 70 approximately in case of neuron. The stimulus can lead to the action potential. This is how an action potential shows gradual upward direction or gradual decreasing the potential. So once it decreases the potential up to minus 55, now the spike is seen in the action potential. The spike is known as depolarization. So suddenly the potential completely reverses in the cell that may shoots approximately 35 millivolt plus 35. So that means from negative minus 70, the gradually potential in the cell decreasing followed by positive potential. So here the negative potential become positive upon the stimulation. So I just stimulated here. The stimulation of neuron or any excitable tissue can be mechanical or can be electrical. So that alters the potential. So that gives rise the action potential. So once the action potential begins, so gradually the potential decreases up to minus 55 millivolts approximately in the neuron. In case of neuron, this is called threshold. Once it reaches the threshold, it suddenly reaches the peak. This is called depolarization phase, and again immediately repolarization phase, and it comes back to the normal resting membrane potential. So before the excitable tissue, for example neuron, comes back to the minus 70, it may drift further down after repolarization, that is known as hyperpolarization phase. So it may goes down to the up to minus 80 millivolts. So it is it's a kind of drifting, sudden drifting, and again try to come back to normal minus 70 millivolt resting membrane potential. That is how the phases of action potential of excitable tissue having the threshold phase and depolarization, repolarization. So this entire area is known as spike potential and hyperpolarization, and again finally the resting membrane potential. Now I would like to explain the molecular basis of the action potential of excitable tissue in simple manner. So here I am drawing the cell. Imagine this is a cell. In normal circumstances, in resting state, the cell inside we have negative potential, whereas outside the cell we have positive potentials. So ECF is positive relative to negative ICF in resting state. Imagine this is the section of neuron, any part of the neuron, for example axon. Okay, so I'm just mentioning this is the point of resting membrane potential minus 70 milliwatt. I just given the stimulus here. So once I stimulate it, then it triggers the opening of positive ion channels. Since we have more sodium outside, so we have more sodium outside, sodium concentration is very high in ECF, whereas concentration of potassium is high in ICF, chloride and proteins. So this is how the distribution of the potential across the cell membrane organizes by cellular selective permeability. So as soon as I stimulated here opening of sodium channels, so these sodium channels are gated channels. Remember, these sodium channels are gated channels. Once the gated channels of sodium being opened, then sodium try to rush in, because high concentration of sodium is having the driving force towards the cell ICF, that is called as electrochemical gradient. So since the electrochemical gradient force drives the sodium inside the cell, the sodium try to rush inside ICF. Influx of sodium is seen with the stimulus. So gradually this sodium accumulates. So here I try to triggers more and more sodium channel activation. Once it reaches the threshold minus 55, because the resting membrane potential from 70 gradually decreasing towards positive side. Once it reaches the threshold, here what I shown here, so the potentials which are already being accumulated inside the cell try to open more and more the gated sodium channels, because increasing potential triggers the opening of sodium channels. Once the sufficient number of sodium accumulates inside the cell, the positive potentials accumulate inside the cell, the ICF now becomes very positive, rather negative. Actually, the ICF now becomes very positive. It triggers the spike potential. This is known as depolarization. The cell may reverse completely its potential approximately 35 milliwatt. Now in this situation, the cell is completely filled with the sodium potentials, positive potentials. Now cell inside the cell becomes positive and outside cell becomes negative, right? So this is called the spike potential. So after that, once the cell being accumulated with the positive potentials, now the cell try to eliminate or try to release or try to throw off the positive ions. Now cell initially thinks of sodium ions to throw off, but it is not at all possible, because the sodium channels are inactive state in this phase. That means in this depolarization phase, entire phase in fact. Now in this situation, the cell having the only way to pour out the positive ions, those are known as potassium ions. So potassium ions, since having the high concentration in ICF, so potassium ions can move out. Gradually the potassium channels gain the activation. Once the potential reaching towards the positive sides, so gradually the minimal amount of the potassium channels being activated. So once it reaches the peak, so here the maximum potassium ion channel activation occurs. Once it activated, outpours the potassium ions. So now the purpose of the cell is achieved. So why the potassium ions are moving out? Because the sodium ions, the gated channels, are inactive state over here. So in any case, cell wanted to push off the positive ions from ICF towards the ECF in order to restore the normal resting membrane potential, that is 70 milliwatt. Once the potassium outpours are exceeded than the required amount of outpouring, so the cell potential become even negative, even more negative, that may around drops up to minus 80 millivolts. So here up to 80 millivolts. This is called hyperpolarization. The polarity drifted further than it required, that is around 70 milliwatt, because the cell actually the throwing of majority amount of the potassium ions. Now the question comes, why only potassium ions are moving out? Because the potassium electrochemical gradient is driving its mobility towards the ECF, because ICF we have more potassium, ECF we have less potassium. So this is the reason why potassium ions are throwing out, or efflux of the potassium ion is seen. And moreover, the sodium channels which are already inactive status. So now the cell reached over the resting membrane potential, the further negative resting membrane potential than it required. So in this condition, in this situation, the cell now needs to adjust or replenish its normal resting membrane potential, that is minus 70. So in order to bring the potential back to the resting membrane potential, so we have one channel, very particular channel, the pump. We can say this is the pump. So sodium potassium pump. Now inside the cell we have more sodium and less potassium, because the potassium already sent out during the repolarization phase, right? So the repolarization phase, the potassium being sent out. Now we have minimal potassium inside or maximum sodium inside, because sodium already being accumulated here, the potassium already been sent here. This is depolarization phase, this is repolarization phase, here hyperpolarization phase. And this pump is known as sodium potassium pump. So it eliminate or it sent out 3 sodium ions for exchanging of 2 potassium ions. So now the cell is trying to restore its normal potential concentrations by sending the sodium out and taking the potassium in. This is called the sodium potassium pump, ATP pump. And similarly we have some more leaky potassium channels. They try to move the potassium inside the cell, facilitates the potassium mobility inside the cell. And we have similarly some leaky sodium channels, and here some leaky sodium channels, and majority of potassium leaky channels and sodium potassium pump. So these are the main channels which try to restores the resting membrane potential towards the normal from hyperpolarization state. So again, now cell reached its normal resting membrane potential as sodium being pumped out and potassium restores its concentration. So this is how the cell membrane of an excitable tissue maintains the concentrations of the potentials across the the cell membrane in order to maintain the excitability. So this is how the molecular basis of the action potential is seen in excitable tissues. Once the resting membrane potential, so reaching the the threshold, the potential is decreasing. Further, the depolarization phase, repolarization phase, hyperpolarization, and resting membrane potential again.